K.Michelle.
Holy sh!
Hey, claimed you were physically abusive during your time together.
Yes.
And then on Fix My Life, you said I was lied on.
Holy sh!
Hey, claimed you were physically abusive during your time together.
Yes.
And then on Fix My Life, you said I was lied on by my ex-girlfriend, ruined my life because I simply didn't want to be with this person.
I was definitely talking about K.Michelle.
Okay.
She's a liar, but it's okay. A lot of people lie, and it's cool. It affected my life in a negative way, but it's okay. At the time, that's who she was. I feel like she's growing. She's grown. I've grown. I forgive everybody. I'm good. I hope they forgive me. But I didn't do anything.
Yes. Hey, were you referring to Mickey Wright when you said an executive who signed me and gave me my dream? In my mind, he was everything, and I trusted him with my life. And the light went out of my smile because the arms that used to wrap me with love are now bruising, crushing me, and threatening me. Were you referring to Mickey Wright during that portion?
Mentally, that's what I was thinking about, but the words were already pre-written for me. So it was basically a play, but I got so emotional because that's what I was mentally thinking. But the words were already laid out for me in a play format.
Okay, explain to me who laid out those words for you in a play.
K.Michelle.
Holy sh!
Hey, claimed you were physically abusive during your time together.
Yes.
And then on Fix My Life, you said I was lied on by my ex-girlfriend, ruined my life because I simply didn't want to be with this person.
I was definitely talking about K.Michelle.
Okay.
She's a liar, but it's okay. A lot of people lie, and it's cool.
To Mickey Wright, you said he came to me in the form of a record deal?
Yes.
Hey, were you referring to Mickey Wright when you said an executive who signed me and gave me my dream? In my mind, he was everything, and I trusted him with my life. And the light went out of my smile because the arms that used to wrap me with love are now bruising, crushing me, and threatening me. Were you referring to Mickey Wright during that portion?
Mentally, that's what I was thinking about, but the words were already pre-written for me. So it was basically a play, but I got so emotional because that's what I was mentally thinking. But the words were already laid out for me in a play format.
Okay, explain to me who laid out those words for you in a play format.
Vivian, a lady named Vivian, it was a play. So she's a play and screenwriter.
Okay, what's Vivian's last name?
I don't know Vivian's last name.
Do you know who Vivian worked for?
She works for NFG TV.
Okay. And whose idea was it for you to wear a wedding dress and to have scars or cuts on your face?
That I don't know. I got there and everything was set up for me.
And someone decided that you were going to have makeup with cuts on your face, correct?
Yes.
That wasn't a decision that you made?
No.
Suffer.
I had bruises and cuts and scrapes.
Where?
I had cuts on my arms. I know I had carpet burn on my leg.
Carpet burn. Did he punch you?
He hit me with a water bottle, but he didn't do that.
He didn't punch you. Okay, so he didn't like punch you in the face.
You got it together. Now, when I was there, you didn't have it together. So, you know, I'm happy. I mean, I kind of feel like Build-A-Bear. You build a nigga up, you get punched by him, and then the motherfucker go, you know what I'm saying?
Is take from me and my story for your convenience and for your entertainment, because that's what the fuck I went through, okay? And beat my ass to me is just that, beat my ass. I don't give a fuck if you done punch me in my face, but if you done drug my ass across the floor and smothered me with a towel to the point where I almost blacked out and lost my motherfucking life, and I'm screaming for my life, I
you could see bruises.
And you said you had cuts.
I did. I think I had, I don't know how many cuts, or it was a cut here, it wasn't a big, deep cut or anything like that.
Where were you cut?
I don't remember. I know I didn't have any facial marks. So it was on my body. So I don't know if it was here, there.
And what did you tell the police when they arrived to the hotel room?
Everything was fine.
Okay. Did they look at you to examine if you had any injuries?
They kind of stood there. No one examined anything. The room was in disarray, but no one examined anything. I said, no, I'm fine.
I asked Erica Wright to produce either the arrest record, because they were alleging at the time that there was an arrest record, that Mickey was arrested in connection with this, and that they had pictures of her bruising that took place at the alleged incident. And then I had Nikayla Miller, as I said before, go to the police station to see if she can obtain the police record.
Okay.
Neither Erica, no one from K.Michelle team ever gave me anything.
Okay.
And Nikayla came back and said there was no police record.
To let me tell what happened to me, because at a point where you got it together, now, when I was there, you didn't have it together. So, you know, I'm happy. I mean, I kind of feel like Build-A-Bear. You build a nigga up, you get punched by him, and then the motherfucker go, you know what I'm saying?
My thing, did K.Michelle tell me that he punched her? No. I don't know if she told y'all that. She never said he punched her, he kicked her, he smacked the crap out of her.
Was this the only incident that you claim that Mickey physically assaulted you?
Objection?
Huh?
The water bottle or the whole thing?
This incident that occurred on the day you can't remember.
The single date.
The single date.
Yeah.
So he never hit you or physically assaulted you on any other occasion?
Verbal, but yeah.
Physical. My question was physical.
Physical. Mm.
So is that a no?
No.
Did you hit him on this
sorry.
date?
I don't recall.
You don't recall. All right. Did you throw an iron at him?
An iron? No, I don't recall.
Okay. Did you throw anything at him?
I don't recall.
After you allege that my client, you had an altercation with my client, okay? Did you suffer any physical abuse after that point
From him?
from anyone?
Yes, I suffered physical abuse.
Okay. But you chose...
Excuse me, not physical abuse. I suffered abuse.
Okay, I'm talking about physical abuse.
No physical abuse.
Okay.
When I joined Greenberg Trarick in June, or May or June of 2012, I was asked to go on the show. Thought it'd be a good idea, being an attorney down there, drum up some business. When I had a conversation with the producer, she indicated, because I don't know the person's name, but it was a female, she indicated that what I would be going on the show would be to substantiate case claims.
Okay.
And I said I would not do that.
Okay. And then did you ever speak with her again?
No, other than we had that conversation, I explained to her my reasons why. The next conversation with this, in the same conversation, the next inquiry was, would I come on the show and confront her with my story? And I was like, look, I'm not going to sandbag Kay. I'm not going to get involved. The answer is no.
Okay. And the reasons you gave to that producer in that call were what?
That, based on my opinion, I do not believe Mickey struck Kay. I gave her the example of, Kay was frequently going around saying that Mickey stole money from, I guess, her budget, and that is impossible to do.
Okay.
And so I just went through the reasons of why I do not believe it to be true, and then the question was, would I present her with that? And I was like, no.
Okay.
And that was it.
And that was the extent of your conversation?
That was the extent of it.
And you
complete a song called Faking It?
Yes. Actually, Faking It was recorded before even being on the label.
But did Hits Committee have to pay for the rights to use that music for you?
Yes.
Okay. What other songs? Did you have a feature with Gucci Mane? Gucci Mane?
Yes.
Okay, and was that paid for by Hits Committee?
Yes.
Okay. What about a feature with Rick Ross?
Yes.
What song was that?
You Shoulda Killed Me.
Okay. And was that recorded or paid for by Hits Committee?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Were there any videos made while you were signed to Hits Committee?
There was, what videos did I have? One of the videos while I was on Hits Committee, yes.
Okay, and what was the name of that video?
That video was Can't Do This.
And was Can't Do This another song that was paid for or recorded while you were with Hits Committee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm like... Okay.
Did Hits Committee or Jive have to pay for the other artists to be featured on your songs?
Yes.
Okay, so like, for instance, Missy Elliott was featured on your Faking It album, correct?
Yes.
And Hits Committee or Jive had to pay for her to be featured on your song, is that correct?
Really, it was Hits Committee. Did he personally go into my bank account and steal my money? No. But did he move funds from different things out of my account to go to other artists? Yes, he did. And to me, that you're stealing from my account, you're using my money inappropriately for other people.
How did you know that he moved money from your account to another artist's account?
The people that work for him.
Like who?
Like the whole staff, like Glenn, like Kenya, Simon.
I've ultimately decided how money got spent. So it was a constant battle between what we could do and trying to justify those actions of what they really wanted to happen.
Right.
Just because they wanted things to happen doesn't necessarily mean we could get the cash to do it or to make Jive do it.
Right.
Now, what I used to tell K.Michelle is this. Okay, listen. Let me explain something to you. And she was new to this, but very smart. I'm like, okay, this man you saying has spent your money, but let me write down all the money that's been spent on you. So let's just start from video to this extravagant photo shoot, to these red bottoms that you want, to these songs that they put out, to whatever. And then she would go, well, I never approved, not all that stuff, but I never approved like Missy getting this money and these producers and all that. She always used to say I never did, but you know, I don't know if that's true or not. I wasn't there. Like, I don't know.
But she communicated to you, at least when she was coming to you to manage her, was that he had blown her budget and not spent it on things that were actually advancing her career.
Yeah, but the label told me different. And that's not Hits Committee. That's Jive. Did she get 3 videos done? Absolutely.
She
They were
did get-
$100,000 videos. So
Okay.
you're talking just on videos where she didn't have nothing. She ended up coming with $300,000 videos, 3 singles released, you know, all type of promotional runs. And so a lot of money was spent.
To be sure, by the time she separated from Jive, no album had been released for her.
Absolutely not. We purposely didn't do that, though.
Okay. That's all I have for right now.
If someone were to tell you that K.Michelle didn't put out any music while she was with Hits Committee or Jive, would you say that was a true or a false statement?
That would be false, technically. Absolutely. She didn't put out an album or an EP, a collective of records, but she definitely had singles that went up.
In response to a question about an album not being released during the time frame when you were managing K.Michelle as being a purposeful decision, could you explain what you meant by that?
Yeah, I think that at a certain point we could have had Jive release an album on her, but I thought it would have been death and destruction for her career. So I avoided it. I wanted it, you know, you gotta think about it. You put out an album and you ain't got a top 10 or a top 5 hit. That's basically right in your coffin, right? So whenever they kept forcing it, we all made a decision to say no, like, you know, me and Kay, like, we're not putting on our album because it's not going to sell and then it's going to be done. You know what I mean? You see, what helped her to this day is that we released, she didn't ever put out an album, so it always looks like the record company didn't do their part and she was smart enough to leave. There's not a sales record to say this album didn't sell besides the singles. So, and I wanted her to have that opportunity to, you know, to be able to leave.
Do this. Did you put out a mixtape, What's the 901?
Yes.
And you put that mixtape out?
Yes.
Okay. Were any songs from that mixtape supposed to be used for your album?
Yes, but
what information does Glenn Delgado have regarding this case that you're aware of?
he knows everything.
Why it's impossible for Mickey Wright to spend K.Michelle's budget on personal items or expenses for him?
The way record labels work, the way it works is that Jive called it a CSE. I don't know what it stands for, but it's a CSE. It's generated by, on the recording side, it's generated by A&R admin, right? So the A&R admin person who handles the project, she issues the CSE. In our case, it was Gabrielle Rosen. She would issue it. It would go to Michelle Riang, who's the head of A&R admin. She would sign it. Then it would follow through to different departments where every department head had to sign the CSE to approve the allocation of the budget to the particular request. So after it went to A&R admin, it gets generated from there. Mickey and I would both sign it, and then it would get signed by the CFO, which at the time was Cliff Silver. Dan Zucker, who was the head of business and legal affairs. It would get signed by Peter Thea, who was the head of A&R. And ultimately, it got signed by Ivan Gavin, who's the COO.
Okay. So, did Mickey purchase any rings for his personal use out of K.Michelle's budget?
No.
Did Mickey purchase any chains for his personal use from K.Michelle's budget?
No.
Did Mickey purchase or pay any personal expenses from K.Michelle's budget?
No.
Did Mickey have access to write a blank check from K.Michelle's budget?
No.
Objective form?
Well, did Mickey Wright have access to...
No.
Let me just ask the question for the record, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Did Mickey Wright have access to pull money from K.Michelle's budget without anyone's approval?
No. Mickey did, neither one of us, no one individual person has access to a budget. There's a vendor. The person who's going to receive the funds is a vendor. So they have to be set up into the system. And then the signature is a requirement, and it gets paid to the approved vendor. It's impossible. It is impossible for Mickey to have gotten money from the K.Michelle budget, because we deal with the same people all the time. It's either the producer, the engineer, the mixer, or the recording studio. You know who these people are. A&R admin knows who these people are because they deal with them on a day in, day out basis. So it's absolutely, it's impossible for Mickey to have access to this cash.
Okay.
Impossible.
I know you're saying it's possible, but let me just ask the question.
Impossible.
I understand. So if K.Michelle said that Mickey bought rings from her budget, is she lying?
Objective form.
I would say that statement is untrue.
Okay. If K.Michelle stated that Mickey bought chains from her budget, is that statement untrue?
That statement is untrue.
If K.Michelle said that Mickey purchased his wife's engagement ring from her budget, is that statement untrue?
That statement is untrue.
I have every text message when you tried to say you would. So if I.
Okay. Have you provided the text message where you claim that my client threatened to kill your son to your attorney, Cynthia Counts?
No.
Have you provided the text message where you claim that my client threatened to kill your son to your prior counsel, Christy Eichhoff?
No.
Have you provided a text message where you claim that my client threatened to kill your son to Mona Me Entertainment?
No.
Did you provide a text message where you claim that my client threatened to kill your son to anyone at NFG TV?
No.
Did you provide a text message where you claim that my client threatened to kill your son to anyone at Viacom?
No.
However, you don't have possession and you can't locate that text message here today.
No, I don't keep text messages. I'm not, I have a life.
Perfect. All right.
When I'm doing interviews and PR, I start saying I'm telling my story because you still sending me text messages. Mm-hmm. You still threatening me. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Damn. You even threatening to kill my son. You still doing. Oh yeah, he said if I kept telling, he said he was crazy. He was spaz out.
How old is your son?
So 8. Mm-hmm. He's 8 now. I was able, at the end of the day, I kept every text message. So when it was time for me to go, I didn't get dropped. RCA, when they merged, when Jive merged or whatever, I ended up going to RCA. They still believed in me. They just couldn't get a record. They didn't know how to handle it. They let him go. They kept me. And I said, you know what? It's too much baggage in this building.
Right.
I got to start over.
Everybody knows
And they was
you,
like, nah, And then I had the publishing deal. I got out of everything. I own my publishing. I got out of everything for them text messages. And my lawyer, Matt Middleton.
Hey, shout out, that was my first lawyer, Matt Middleton. What up, Matt?
Yeah. So he followed me out.
Shout out to Matt. So
That
now,
is a crazy story.
So now Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, they reach out to you for the show. Now you're on the show, and now you and Kylie Red. What's her name? Kylie Red?
K.Michelle.
Holy
Hey, claimed
K.
you were physically
How you doing?
abusive during your time together.
Yes.
And then on Fix My Life, you said I was lied on by my ex-girlfriend, ruined my life because I simply didn't want to be with this person.
I was definitely talking about K.Michelle.
Okay.
She's a liar, but it's okay. A lot of people lie, and it's cool. It affected my life in a negative way, but it's okay. At the time, that's who she was. I feel like she's growing. She's grown. I've grown. I forgive everybody. I'm good. I hope they forgive me. But
Okay.